Thank God it's Friday. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. Hello, Tokwe Makadige. How are you?
I'm good.
You haven't seen the Singaporean this week, have you?
No, I haven't.
No, she hasn't.
This
She's hugged me already.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
That's a...
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Called Mania Magazine. His work in photography and visual arts has earned him lots of international recognition abroad and locally. And with his light-hearted and easygoing demeanor, his unique style and mastery of aesthetics and creative lighting, welcome with us the veteran himself, Kelechi Amadi Obi in the building.
Yo, yo.
Good to have you.
Good to have
Same here.
Yeah, you know, I've
glad to be
heard
here.
of you. I've seen you in the past, but I've seen you physically here for the first time. It's such an honor to have you on the
This
on,
honor is mine.
on set.
Thank you.
So, photography in Nigeria has evolved over the years, and you're one of the veterans. In fact, you're probably one of the pioneers of this industry to make it a proper industry. How does it feel? 2022 now, there are lots of photographers out there who are doing great work. And how would you, in a nutshell, talk about the industry of photography? How has it grown in the last
Well,
decades?
it's exploded, really, I would say. We got into the photography space, I mean, when we were shooting film,
Yeah.
you know, and we've sort of walked through that process, the evolution from film to digital, and then from digital to the ubiquitous phone. You understand? But what has happened is all through those metamorphoses, there's been a multiplication of the need for imagery. You know, it's sort of become, as new media and stuff is coming out, the more the need, you know, for good photography. And with the digital, with the internet, with that space, social media, it's global. So then the quality just has to be the same as anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
You know, I do remember a time when we used to have this, this is the quality in Nigeria and then that is the quality abroad. But now the lines are very blurred, you know.
wow.
So what has happened is that, you know, the nature abhors a vacuum. You know, when there's demand for it, people will rise to the occasion.
So, I knew you before you went grey. And, you know, I was looking at you. When I saw you out there, I just remember a very adventurous part of my youth because I was modeling. And I used to model with Kesa Jabari, and then I used to model with Modella. And then we used to come to your studio, and it was just like, you are special if you get to be photographed by Kelechi Amadi Obi. Like, that is every model. Yes, every model wanted to be, you wanted to have your headshot, you wanted to have your picture by Kelechi Amadi Obi. And I've seen that evolution consistently over time. And we're living in a season where everybody feels like it should be like this. I should fall in love with something and I should just blow. And then I will start making the millions and I will remain number one. How has it been dealing with your people you trained, taking that space, your clients using them, life-changing like that? How have you moved through that journey?
And still remain relevant.
Oh, well, I mean, I do have a philosophy in life. I believe that the true reality is in the moment, you know? I mean, they say, oh, wake up and smell the roses. And so for me, it's all about the process itself. You know, the process of creating, the process of living, the process of making things, for me, is an end in itself. That process then becomes my life, you know? So what I absolutely enjoy is this being in a constant search for the new and enjoying the process of being a student and the learning. And once you're like that, you constantly evolve. And photography itself is such a dynamic, you know, sort of business. It is based on technology. It is changing. Right now, we even have AI, you know, creating things. So, you know, if you are afraid of learning, then you stay in one place. And yes, you will always find the new talents. What is happening now is so beautiful. Every day, I'm looking at all these younger ones, you know, putting up really, really creative work. And what can I say? You know, it's beautiful. It's something that for me is at the core of what I set out, that maybe we can achieve this. Maybe we can change the look and feel of the continent of Africa and the way people see our people. And it's not by one person.
Right.
It has to be legion.
Yeah. Okay, much better.
All right, so when you've built such a global brand, and it's very unique. So when you see a Kelechi Amadi Obi picture, you know, you can already tell that this was shot by Kelechi Amadi Obi. So how have you been able to maintain that consistency in excellence over the past couple of years? I mean, your journey's been decades, not years. You guys, it's been so long. So what's the drive to maintain that excellence and be consistent?
Oh, well, what can I say? It's all about setting standards for yourself. You know, so I like to set very high standards. I always tell some of the younger ones, the thing is, it's a comparison between you and you, you know, but you have to say, okay, this is the best in the world at this. Does my work compare, you know, in terms of technical proficiency or whatever? But at the end of the day, creativity, again, is so unique that you have to find your own voice. So then there's really no serious means of comparing your work. So at a point in your creativity, you will develop the courage to be yourself. And once you're yourself, then there's nobody that can be compared. You know, then your work becomes this kind of thing that you can say, this is unique. And once it's like that, and the world accepts it, then you're getting into that space.
What's the future of photography, especially because there are lots of people that come into the industry, and when parents hear their child say, I want to become a photographer, then what is it? How much money is there? He's taking people's pictures. So people are still somewhat skeptical about career. I know somebody who is a Harvard graduate. He came back home and he told his mom, I'm done, get my camera, and now he has a studio. And the mother keeps saying, I don't understand. This child, he went to Harvard, right? He went to Harvard, you know, and he's taking pictures. So there are lots of people going. So what's the future of photography? How do we tell parents to encourage? Can we encourage children to go into this work? And what's the future looking like? Let's talk to parents today.
What can I say? You know, the future is good. I mean, I'm doing this. I'm taking care of my bills. I'm enjoying myself. I don't know how to put it. You know. But again, just like every other thing, nothing comes easy. The important thing you need to look at is the child enjoying the process. You know, once you're enjoying the process, for me, I believe that success is a process. It's a series of habits, you know. So if the child is enjoying the process, they will most likely, you know, succeed. Or rather, they've succeeded already. We're just waiting for the money to follow the success, you know. And so once the child has that passion, don't push them in a different path. Support them. And if you're afraid that they may not survive, look around you. You would find that the industry has completely, you know, gone to a different place. People are paying premium, you know, for their time and things. And the photography is so versatile that you can really get so many different streams of income, you know, from it, if you know what you're doing.
So everybody has a camera. And our phone cameras do wonders right now. There are things you can do with your phone cameras, tweaking and there are a lot of apps. There are a lot of, tech has improved a lot of areas of our lives, especially within the photography, videography space. And the question is, there are some jobs that tech has taken out, and there are some tech will take out. Is photography in any way one of those jobs that tech might take out?
Well, you know, at any point...
Let me just qualify that. So there used to be this, people, when they're doing news, in the US, we see videographers carry the camera in helicopters to do, and now what do? Drones. So that job is out totally. So obviously, some will go.
No, absolutely. I mean, there is no doubt that technology will take some people's jobs out. I mean, like I told you, when I started photography, we were going to the dark room to process our film. You know, when the digital came in, you know, when the QSS machine came in those days, a lot of studios closed. They couldn't handle the fact that people have small cameras and they don't need to know how to process film. You just go to the QSS machine and get their 15 naira per copy done. Now, that took out a lot of photography. When digital came, a lot of people also couldn't handle it, you know? So at any point in time, when technology shifts, a lot of people, but one thing that technology will find very difficult to take away is the artistic mind.
That's you.
Is the artistic eye. Is the ability to create from millions and millions of experiences that you've had that makes you make the decision to point your camera in a certain place, put your light in a certain way. That thing is difficult for technology to replace. And that is what makes you an artist.
Interesting. I love it. How did your family, let's go a bit personal now. How did your family accept this line of business? Because sometimes, I mean, when you started, I'm sure it wasn't one of the most popular careers to pursue.
Have this much money.
So did your family, were they always excited about it? Or they said, go and get correct job. This photographer you're doing is not going to be...
Well, I've always been a bit of a rebel, you know. What can I say? My father was a high court judge. My mother was a teacher. Yeah. And in my family then, you know, it was only two professions that were truly recognized. It was law and medicine.
Everybody's a family.
So I studied law.
Yeah,
you know,
wow.
So I mean, what brought me to Lagos was law school. Right. But you know, and I have not always been a photographer. I actually started as a painter, so that was even more difficult. You know, I mean, so once I finished law school, I decided to start painting.
Really?
Yeah. So I was stubborn like that.
What kind of painting? Like painter
watercolors and
So you never practiced law at all?
Well, maybe during my youth corps, you know, I went to court a couple of times. But I had made the decision I was going to be an artist from my year 3 in school. But I just, you know, I wanted to make sure I get called.
And your wife met you as a lawyer or as a painter?
No, I was a painter. I never really practiced law. From law school, I
she was willing to marry a painter.
Oh yeah, my wife was actually an artist. You know, she studied art.
Oh yes, so
very easy.
Perfect blend.
You know, so yeah, it was you know, now she's an interior designer, but you know, it's a perfect blend. We met at an art exhibition, so.
Nice.
So yeah.
Sorry, we love these kind of stories. Was it like love at first sight, or it took a lot of prepping? Look at you already blushing.
Well, I mean, the truth is, yeah. I mean, the first time I saw her, it was very interesting, you know. And then we became friends. You know, we became friends over the years, support each other, talk about art and things like that. And then, you know, after a while, it just occurred to me that this is my wife.
Oh, nice. Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, find out what you're working on. Stay with us. We'll be right back.